A very good morning, students. In this short video, I am going to tell you about the Viva questions usually asked on the liver. So let us begin with the first question, which is usually asked as soon as the examiner will ask you to hold the liver in your hand. He is going to ask you the first question: what is the anatomical position of the liver? Or where it is located. When you will start replying to him that it is located in the right hypochondrium region, major part of the right hypochondrium and part of the epigastric region is occupied by the liver. The left lobe of the liver may extend also to the part of the left hypochondrium, so that you can say that the liver is located in the right hypochondrium, the epigastric region partly, and partly onto the left hypochondrium region. Then coming to the anatomical position of the liver, you should hold the liver in such a way that this is the anterior surface of the liver should face anteriorly. The right lateral surface should be vertical, that this surface should be vertical and should face towards the right side. This is the left lobe of the liver, and the superior surface should show a slight concavity upward. So this should be the position of the liver in the anatomical position. This is the exact position of the liver in anatomical position. Then the second question will be that it is about the external features of the liver. He may ask you about the surfaces of the liver. You can say that the liver has two surfaces. One is the diaphragmatic surface, which is in relation to the diaphragm, and it is quite an extensive surface. And the other surface is this inferior surface of the liver, which is also called as the visceral surface. So there are two surfaces, a diaphragmatic surface and this one is the visceral surface. For further, you can say that the diaphragmatic surface is in relation to the diaphragm, and it has an anterior surface, a superior surface, then it has a right lateral surface. This is the right lateral surface, and then you can turn and show that the diaphragmatic surface also has the posterior surface, which is mainly occupied by the bare area of the liver. That I am going to tell you in the next video about the peritoneal relation. So what are the surfaces which come under the diaphragmatic surface? Anterior surface, the superior surface, the right lateral surface, and a narrow posterior surface. These are the surfaces which are the part of the diaphragmatic surface. When you go for the visceral surface or the inferior surface, turn the liver and show him the inferior or the visceral surface. And this inferior or the visceral surface, they will show the various structures, various structure. For example, this inferior surface will show the fossa for the gallbladder. See this? This is the gallbladder, which is showing the fossa for the gallbladder. And this diaphragmatic and inferior surface, they are separated by a single border, which is sharp border here, and this is called as the inferior border. Let us see here. From the right surface or right lateral surface part of the diaphragmatic, this border is also known as the inferior, but it is rounded. But where it is in relation to the anterior surface with that of the inferior, this inferior border is quite a sharp border is here. We separate the diaphragmatic from that of the visceral or inferior surface. And on the visceral surface, I was telling you that you saw him the presence of a fossa, and this is for the fossa for the gallbladder, because this is the gallbladder. It is just okay, protruding from the inferior border a little anterior, okay, anteriorly from, and that is the fundus of the gallbladder. Then you can show a fissure here, and in this fissure a ligament which is called as the ligament teres. Ligamentum teres is here, which is just passing through this fissure, and this fissure is called as the fissure for ligamentum teres. Then there is another groove here, or fissure is here, and that through which various structures will be passing, and this is called as the Porta Hepatis. This is known as Porta Hepatis. And in here there will be one and another fissure. If you see the continuity of the fissure for ligamentum teres, this fissure here, which is more towards the posterior surface here, it is called as the fissure for the ligamentum venosum. It is the fissure for the ligamentum venosum is here. So these are the fissures. So once again I will tell you the fissure for ligamentum teres, fissure for the ligamentum venosum, this is the Porta Hepatis is here. Now, with the help of this many structure, you can say that the inferior surface of the liver is divided into many lobes. And actually, the next question will be that how many lobes are present in that of the liver. Then you can say that the lobes of the liver on the anterior surface is divided. It is divided into two lobes, and right lobe, which is a larger, and a left lobe. This is the left lobe and this is the right lobe, and this is divided by the attachment of the double fold of the peritoneum, as I am showing you here. And this double fold of the peritoneum has an attachment to the anterior abdominal wall right from the umbilicus. Here you can see that I have just dissected the umbilicus here, and then here you can see that this fold of the peritoneum, which is attached right from umbilicus to the anterior abdominal wall, then this portion is attached to the diaphragm. The other end of the free margin of this ligament fold of the peritoneum contain the ligamentum teres. And this ligamentum teres we have seen going into the fissure for the ligamentum teres. So this sickle cell fold of the peritoneum here is the falciform ligament, which is attached onto the anterior surface of the liver, and thus this divides the liver into the right larger lobe and the left lateral lobe. These are the two lobes seen from the anterior aspect due to the attachment of this fold of peritoneum called as the falciform ligament, on the free margin of which there is ligamentum teres is attached. But on the inferior or the visceral surface there are other structures, many other lobes are there, and this lobe which lies just right to that of the gallbladder, that is the fossa for the gallbladder, or to the gallbladder, then one which lies here onto the inferior vena cava, groove for the inferior vena cava. See, this is the groove for the inferior vena cava which opens here, okay. So this is the demarcation point of the right lobe of the liver. Then there is a fissure here. So I was telling you about the various lobes on the inferior or the visceral surface of the liver. So I told you that the fissure for the, this fossa for the gallbladder, whatsoever lies lateral to or right to it is the right lobe of the liver. And then here from the fissure for the ligamentum teres here, and the fissure for ligamentum venosum which is here, this part of the liver which lies left to these two fissures, it is the left lobe of the liver. Now in between the right and the left lobe of the liver, this part of the liver which lies between ligamentum teres and the gallbladder fossa, this area and below the porta hepatis is called as the quadrate lobe. Then he may ask you about the quadrate process and the quadrate lobe, okay. Quadrate lobe, and after quadrate lobe he may ask you about the caudate lobe and caudate process. So this area of the liver which lies between the fissure for ligamentum venosum and that of the groove for this inferior vena cava is here, that this lobe is the caudate lobe of the livers. So this is caudate lobe, and a prolongation of the liver tissue which is going towards the right lobe of the liver here, it is called as the caudate process, which lies posterior to this porta hepatis, are the structures which are going and coming out from the liver substance. This area is called as porta hepatis. So these are the four lobes: the left lobe, the caudate lobe, the quadrate lobe, and then the right lobe of the liver, which are seen from the inferior or the visceral surface. In the next video, we will learn about the questions which are asked in relation to that of the reflection of the peritoneum, and then various ligaments, and then what are the structures or visceras which are in relation to the inferior surface of the liver. Thank you very much for watching this video.